Shalom guys, how are you doing? Hashem bless you with all good.
אתה שומע אותי?
Yeah.
Dror?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you, and it's live on Facebook and YouTube.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on. דבר?
I can hear you, and we're live on Facebook and on YouTube as well.
I can't hear you. You can hear me, right?
Now you can hear me?
Now I hear you.
Okay, wonderful. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube.
תודה.
תודה.
תהיה כזה. אוקיי, שנייה, זה ייקח לי כמה דקות בגלל זה מאוד מסובך, but just give me a few minutes and I'm gonna take care of it, okay?
Okay, I'm probably gonna continue from the Facebook and YouTube. Is it okay to start?
Yes, feel free, and you're on Zoom, נכון? Because I'm on. Yes, you can go ahead and אתה יכול להתחיל, אין בעיה.
Okay, the main thing is just maybe to mute, or maybe I should just leave the voice.
I will. I'm gonna mute it right now. Hold on.
Shalom uvracha to everyone, sisters and brothers. We are very happy to climb today to another level and to reach out to more people in that way. It's very important for us, for you to know that the main reason why this project started is because of a very innocent and sincere, deep understanding in my heart that when a person enjoys a certain light, receives a certain light, being exposed to a certain blessing, to a certain gift, so it's not only for him to enjoy it. He must also in the same time share from this wisdom and from that bounty that he enjoys other people, because people depend in each other and people are connected to each other. People spiritually are so bonded and so united in their emotions, in their feelings, so related to each other. And the bodies that are separating us, the houses that are separating us, the cities, the communities, the towns, the states, they're creating a certain illusion that is 100% false, that we are separated, that we are different, that we are disconnected from each other. But in reality, if you would know, if you would be able just to see, to recognize this amazing, amazing inner spiritual connection that we're all one unit in reality, in our spirits, in our souls, you would be amazed how same things that you're experiencing in your life, different people that are so much alike you, but in different places in the world, are going through the exact same thing, and you just don't know it. You're just not aware to it. There's a person that is approximately in your age, with a similar background, with same difficulties, and going through same things, and he looks a little bit different, but if you would hear his life story, you would be amazed. You would say, hey, like, it's me, it's the same. And you live your life in the US, and he lives his life in Greece, and another person have the same life, and he lives in Uzbekistan, he lives in the Holy Land of Israel, he lives in Saudi Arabia, he lives in Thailand, and he's going through the exact same downs and ups and excitements, and he has issues with the same situations with his parents, with his soulmate, with, and you feel separated from him, and you feel divided from him, and you feel like, oh, there's no connection and no one understands me on this earth. And in reality, we are all so much alike. The part that is the same in us, in our hearts, in our souls, in our spirits, is the major part of our soul that is similar, that is equal to other people. And we must understand this, because it's so important, because the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, is running so hard and working so hard to create and to establish this separation, to make us think that we are all divided and that we are not one, and that there is no hope for none of us to succeed and to grow. But the real truth is that there is only one soul, and that's the soul of Adam and Eve. And they were also only one soul. When Adam and Eve came down to earth, first time in the creation, when they came down to this world, they came in one body. Their body was one. And Adam felt a certain need to have a friend. He was lonely, even though he was complete. You must understand, we must understand, it was the first time, the creation, it took place only once. It happened only once. The Creator sent a beam of light down to earth, down to behind the curtains, and what that took place, that snowball that is rolling for almost 6,000 years, was something that no one ever tested before, that no one ever planned, and no one ever predicted. It was the Creator's decision to do something and to go with it and to get into this situation, because he wanted to reveal his love to his creations. And there were no creations before, so he had to create a certain separation, to put a certain curtain, and to send his own unique light down to the world, to behind that curtain, and from that place to start all over again, and to try to come back, and to try to come back to his own self, to send his beam of light back to its source. And when Adam and Eve came down to the world in one body, they didn't understand what's going on around them. All the different animals and all the creations, the trees and the sky and earth and fire and water, and like everything was moving and everything had colors, and everything smelled so good, and like life, it was all so beautiful, and so naive, and so innocent, and no one ever been there, no one ever touched any of those things, and like they didn't know what's going on in this world, and they just like they wanted to grab it all, they wanted to hold it, they came from spiritual world, they came from a world of above, they came from a place that was before all kinds of limitations and dividings. They were one moment before, and suddenly they were here inside a certain body, and start experiencing separation from the rest of the animals and species, rest of the spirits. And they never been tested in something like that before. Until that moment, they were one. Until that moment of creation, Adam and Eve and the Creator and all the rest of the spirits were one great soul. And now the Creator sent them into a physical body, and suddenly Adam, in his loneliness, in his body, sees that there is a difference between him to all the rest of creations. He sees that all the creations were divided to male and female, and only his soul was one body, male and female, together. Face going to one direction is the male face, and the feminine face was going to the opposite side, and they couldn't communicate. They didn't know what to do with it. And the Creator wanted to make them similar to him. That like the Creator, he is not multiplying. He doesn't have a soulmate. He is complete in his completion. And he doesn't mate. The Creator wanted to bring the divine soul of humans in the same form that will be perfect, with no needs, with no desire, with no hunger, with no desires, with no lackings, with no thirst to satisfy, just to be complete and relax, and to have everything they need in their lap, inside themselves. And when Adam and Eve, they looked to the side, so Adam, that's how we call that way of thinking. It came from the male side, from Adam. He saw that all the animals, all the different species were divided, were separated. The lion, he had his wife, and the zebra male had his wife, and the giraffe, he had his wife, and he saw the horse with his wife, and he saw all the animals, the dog and his female, and the cat with his female, the leopard with his female, and everyone were so friendly and chatting and talking and jumping and playing, and they were all in pairs. And he felt lonely. So it's written that he was sad because he was the only one that didn't have a soulmate. He couldn't find it. It was inside of him, but it was like it was hidden. He couldn't understand what's going on. Where is it? Where is my completion? Like, okay, it's inside of you. Where? Like, how many times we hear that thing in our lifetime? Yeah, the answer is inside of you. Okay, where to search? What should I do? How can I do it? It's a mission, really, to find yourself, really to find the inner answer, really to find an inner satisfaction, an inner source of joy. It's very hard. It's very hard. The challenge can be very, very complex, very, very difficult. But the Creator, he planned all this journey with a very deep meaning before of time, ahead of time, and his intention was very, very deep, and we cannot grasp it completely. We cannot understand completely what the Creator wanted to achieve with the creation. We will be able to experience it only when the redemption, the full redemption, will take place in our lives. But until that moment, until that time, we are still in that position of searching, of desiring and hoping for the truth to come. So Adam asked from the Creator to bring him a soulmate, to have a wife as well, like the rest of the creations. So the Creator put him to sleep and took out from his completion a portion of his soul, and divided also his physical body, that holy chariot that is carrying us from one place to the next, from one experience to the next, and divided him to two. And suddenly there was a woman standing by his side. And all right, now they need to learn what to do with time. Now they need to learn how to communicate, how to talk. It's all a journey. And with all the amazing and holy closeness to Hashem, the souls that were close to the Creator in the first generations, even though that they were so holy, that they were so pure, that they were so powerful, that they were so great, even though they were so amazing and close to him, and their ancient memory, the back of their minds, that their ability to sense and to feel, even though that it was so gentle and it was so clear and it was so beautiful and close to the Creator, still they, now after the fact, we can see that, we can understand that they were still the souls that were the furthest from the Creator's real will, from the completion. They were the souls that started the process of being in this world, means that they were those souls that were the last ones in line to be fixed. And we, in the last generation, even though that we feel so separated and so divided and so low and so broken and so traumatized from life, and like we feel so like distant, and we don't understand ourselves, and sometimes we don't see like what's going on, who are we, what are we doing here, what's the mission, what's the plan, what's going on. We, in so many ways, we are the most beautiful thing that ever walked on earth, because we are the champions, my friends. We are those ones that learned the lesson. We are those ones that developed. We are those ones that went from one stage to the next, from one level to the next. We are those ones that achieved the most, and I'll explain to you why. In the beginning, the souls were very, very wide. The soul of Adam and Eve was such a thick soul that held inside of it all the souls that will come back in different lifetimes in the future. They were the soul of humanity. And that trunk been divided to the first branches. Those are the first children of Adam and Eve. It was Cain, and then Hevel, and then Shet, and they had children, and their children were the main thick branches that held the majority of the souls. Now, in every time that a new soul came down to the world, so the branch of the earlier generation, of the first generation, is now being divided into two. And from those two, another three are coming. And from those three, another four are coming in the next generations. But they are coming from inside. Means that like a flower that is blooming, and after one layer is being revealed to the world, so a second one is opening from within, and then a third one is blooming, and a fourth one. And we, those souls of the last generation, we were there inside those branches from the early beginning, from the beginning of the journey. We were there in the soul of Adam and Eve when they just land first time on earth in the Garden of Eden. We were there. And where were we over there? In the most inner part that is about to survive and to hold on and to exist for the future generations for thousands of years. We are the only souls that lived for 6,000 years. Adam lived 970 years. That's what it's and 930 years. Okay, that was his lifetime. He lived 930 years on earth. Now, after him, his child came to the world. He lived, let's say, another 800 years. Okay, now, every one of them, they lived their life. But the soul that lived in the second generation, let's say that it lived 800 years, like we said, and it came to the world after 200 years of his father's life. So you have him live inside of the soul of his father for 200 years, and then he's coming out to the world as an individual for another 800 years. So now you have 1,000 years. And now let's say that he had a child, and that child will live 600 years. So he have those 1,000 years that he lived in the bodies of his parents, in the body of his father, in the body of his grandfather, and also he's 600 years. So he's alive for 1,600 years. That's how much time he is on earth. Even if he cannot remember his different lifetime, even if his memory is blocked and sealed and vague, and he cannot understand the whole picture, and he doesn't have that complete memory of coming in and out from this world over and over, reincarnation down to this earth, he is still experiencing it, and his spirit and his soul is enjoying the wisdom, and the conclusions of the earlier generation, and he's carrying that on his back, and he's holding it in his heart. And we are those ones that went in and out from this world thousands of times already. We started in Adam, and then we moved to the next generation, and from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth, and from the fourth to the fifth, and from the fifth to the next, and on and on and on. And we are here, and we are still blooming. We are still alive. And we are the most inner portion of the soul of Adam and Eve, and we are here. And we're survived until today. And not only that we survived until today, we're also here with a very deep intention and with a very strong desire to achieve this completion, to fix the world, to find the good, not to surrender to evilty, not to surrender to despair, to sadness, to all kinds of darkness. And you need to be so strong not to lose your mind in this world. You need to be so powerful not to give up. When you see all around you the tests and challenges that people are experiencing, when you see all around you people that are suffering, when you see all around you people that are that are losing their minds, people that gave up on hope, people that doesn't have no desire for life anymore. And you see that inside your heart, something is different. And I can see this beauty in the eyes of my students when I'm talking to you guys. I see in your hearts, I see in the messages that you're writing, in the emails that you're sending. I see that spark. I see that beauty of your soul, that you are desiring the truth with no end. I see that in your spirits. I see that in your souls. People are waiting for Mashiach to come for generations, and everyone, they have their understanding of who Mashiach should be and how Mashiach should come. And Christians, they have their opinion, and Jewish, they have their opinion, and Muslims, they have their opinion. I must tell you something. When Mashiach will come, the real Mashiach, everyone will surrender to him. Everyone will understand that that man is the man of God. Everyone. No one will argue anymore. No one will care what's the color of his hair, and if he has this accent or another accent, if he's from this nation or from that. No one will care. No one will care. It's exactly like that now. Let's say a person will call you and tell you, hey, I want to help you to buy a house. I want to buy you a house. Will you care if that person is Jewish or if he's Christian, if he's Muslim? They are telling you now his name is Muhammad and he wants to build you a house. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like, can I thank him? Where is he? Can I have his number? They're going to tell you, no, his name is Chris. Oh no, his name is John. Oh no, his name is Moshe. His name is Yoshua. All right, he wants to give you a house. He wants to buy you a house. Thank you. Who is it? Where is it? Where can I see him? So we're talking about a person that will come down to earth and will redeem the world and will bring us all a house. He will give the house to heaven. He will build the house for Hashem. During the last Shabbat, I sat outside on our porch and I was talking to Hashem. I was doing my didnt, and I saw that this world, like we said before, is basically a curtain, is a wall of separation from the Creator. I imagined to myself while I was talking to Hashem, while I was doing my individual prayer, my didnt, I was thinking to myself, look, Abraham was sitting in the entrance to his tent and he was talking to the Creator. And suddenly the Creator revealed himself to him. He went above the curtains and he changed nature. He removed the curtain and appeared to him and revealed himself to him. Moses was calling to Hashem, and suddenly the sky were not the same sky that were there before. Suddenly he could see and hear and feel and sense the voice of the Creator. King David, he was enjoying the ability to see, to visualize, to grasp with his mind, with his eyes, a deeper form of the Creator than that one that we are experiencing while counting and hoping for the individual supervision of the Creator on our lives. We, as individuals, we hope all the time to see Hashem, and we call him and we say, please Hashem, please the Creator, help us, we need your help, heal us, support us, answer our requests, forgive us for all our sins, all those requests. And we're sending those requests where to? To the sky. We look above, we pray to the air, to the sides, to wherever we see with the eyes of our minds that the Creator is there. We're aiming our prayers to that place. But we understand that those prayers are rising to a higher dimension. They're going to a higher place. You don't aim to the clouds. You don't pray to the peak of the trees, to the highest mountains. The Lord is not sitting on the highest mountain and grabbing your prayers. No, you are sending, shooting your prayers to a place that is above physicality, right? Now, I was doing my bodedut. I was trying to talk to Hashem. I was trying to pray to the Creator. And I saw that no matter what I do, I'm still sending my prayers through those curtains. I cannot see beyond them. I send them to the brightest point in the sky. I'm sending them to the highest place that I imagine in my mind that is over there somewhere. But I cannot see it. And I felt so broken in that place, because I realized that even though that we are putting so much effort in believing in the Creator and talking to Him and praying, He still chooses to hide Himself from us. He is still hidden. Where is He? Like, you're talking for days, you're talking for weeks, you're talking for months, you're talking for years. And where is Hashem? Now you walk and you see a certain situation, and you see in that situation that it reminds you of a certain thought that you had in mind, or that there is a certain similarity between your request to the event that just took place in your life in front of your eyes. So you think to yourself, so you imagine to yourself, so you hope that, all right, maybe the Creator is talking to me, maybe the Creator blessed me with something that I can and I can recognize the godliness, the heavenly light through the curtains. But in reality, you don't see Hashem. You see His coverings. You see people. You see houses. You see cars. You see clouds. You see the view. You see animals. You don't see Hashem. Where is Hashem? Hashem is still hidden. But Hashem is still hidden because we still haven't pulled Him out of His hidden place. But that's our mission. We are now on a mission to call the Creator out from physicality, to bring Him to that place that He will climb above this world, and we will be able to see Him and to understand Him and to communicate with Him and to see His face and to recognize His face. We don't want to live in this position, in this situation, that we are praying and we're not being answered, that we're hoping for something and it does not take place in our lives. We want to see the Creator face again. And that will take place in the time that Mashiach will be strong enough and powerful enough to convince the Creator to come back from that hidden place, from His darkness, from that place that He been exiled to. Now, I'm praying from the bottom of my heart that every person on earth will help me in this mission and will assist me in that thing that I desire to bring to the world, and we all need to hold hands together. I need your support for that. I need you all to give me your hands and your power and your heart and your prayers and your time and your talents for that mission to take place. One person cannot do those amazing things alone on his own. No one person on earth is able to do it. But together, if we're going to work together, we're going to accomplish so much. We're going to accomplish so much. You think to yourself, all right, we need to wait till Mashiach is here. We're waiting for Mashiach. Those are all excuses. I tell you, Mashiach is here. I tell you, what if I told you Mashiach is already here? What if I told you that Mashiach is already walking between us? What if I told you that Mashiach is already doing his work? That Mashiach is already talking to thousands of people and waking their hearts? What if I told you that the redemption already started a few years ago? Don't you want to take a part of that? Don't you want to jump out of your bubble and to give a hand? So I tell you, our project is the project of salvation. We don't care about things that people care about, which section of the world you're coming from, which nation you belong to, who are you, who were you, who is your rabbi, what's your community, what is your occupation, where are you, like what are you doing with your life, what are you doing with your time. All those things are not things that we care of. We are not being judgmental, and we are not judging people by the color of their skin, by their accent, by their nation. All this amazing thing about the nation of Israel, it's such a blessing. It's such a deep and so meaningful blessing. No one understands. People think the Jewish people, of course, that there is a lot of ignorance out there in the world, and people don't have a clue what Jewish are and who they are and what they're doing. But there is something that is much deeper than the Jewish nation, and it's the nation of Israel. I said it many times. The 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 nation of the Jewish people of today are one tribe out of 12 tribes. And this is something very important to understand. We are being called the Jewish people. And the Jewish people are today those ones that are holding the most ancient scripts, and they have in their in their treasure an ancient tradition that is based on conversations and speeches that been revealed to the world by very righteous people that walked on earth since the days of Abram and Sarah, Isaac and Rivka, Jacob and Rachel and Leah. And they passed that torch, those righteous people, from one generation to the next. And the last ones that received that torch were the tribe of Yehuda, the Jewish people, and they are holding the commandments and the 613 obligations that have been written in the Bible, and also all the wisdom and the way of keeping the orders and the good advice of the Creator to his people that been handed to the righteous ones, to the wise ones. But the fact that we hold those books and that we hold that tradition and this Kabbalah that we received and inherit this knowledge from our ancestors, and we're sharing it to the next generations and to the wide world, does not make us, the Jewish people, to be the only ones that are the children of the Creator. In reality, the chosen nation that stood in the bottom of Mount Sinai to receive the Holy Testaments, the 10 Holy Testaments, the Holy Tablets, were 12 tribes, and we're talking about millions of people that were standing over there in that time. And all of them saw the face of heaven. All of them being called my children in that time. Now, In those days, the leader of our nation, the nation of Israel, was Moses. And Moses and his children and his wife Tzipporah, they never went into the Holy Land of Israel. They stayed out in the camp of Jethro when Tzipporah and Moses' children, when Moses walked for 40 years with our people, with the nation of Israel in the desert of Sinai. And after 40 years, when the nation of Israel were about to enter to the promised land, to the Holy Land, so Moses passed away and he died in the desert, and he been buried in an unknown place that no one can put his hands on it. And the nation of Israel went into the Holy Land of Israel. So first of all, the children of Moses are still hidden. We don't know who they are. They're somewhere, blend between the nations. They're out there in the deserts somewhere, and we don't know who they are. And then, after another something like 1,000 years, the kingship of Israel been divided from the kingship of Yehuda. The tribes started to argue and to fight, and been divided to two main sections. The larger one was of 10 tribes, and the smaller one that followed King David and his legacy was the tribe of Judah, and part of the tribe of Binyamin, and part of the Kohanim and the Leviim, the tribe of Levi, that joined the kingship of Judah, the kingship of King David. And they stayed, that small group stayed with the kingship of King David, and they are being called until today the tribe of Judah, the Jewish nation. And the rest of the tribes, 10 tribes, been exiled by the king of Ashur to a place outside of the Holy Land of Israel. And all those tribes, all those millions of people are not being called Jewish as of today. They've been blended in the nations, and they are today, we cannot recognize them, we cannot track them, we don't know who they are. And even if we can see in China or in Afghanistan or in Syria or in different places in the world, people that kept certain traditions, we understand that they came from an ancient tradition. They are part of the nation of Israel, but also probably many of their surroundings that couldn't hold to that tradition, that were not strong enough to stay connected to an ancient tradition of 4,000-5,000 years, and they lost their tradition and lost their faith and started to worship different, follow different beliefs. And the fact that they changed their language and the fact that they changed their nature in many ways doesn't separate them from their real connection to our family. And we are one family that is built from millions of people around the world that are all the children of Israel. And it's true that by the rules of Judaism, you have certain dividings and certain rules that Jewish must keep today, that those siblings of ours from different tribes of Israel are not supposed to keep as for now, but in our heart we must remember that they are our sisters, that they are our brothers, and that we are one. And we must understand that it's our mission and our job to be a lighthouse to the world, to shine the wisdom of the Creator to the wide world. I meet and in touch with thousands of people on daily basis. I have friends in Chile. I have friends in Venezuela. I have friends in Turkey. I have friends in Egypt. I have friends in Australia. I have hundreds of friends in Europe, in different countries in Europe. I have hundreds and thousands of friends in the US, in different states, in Central America, in South America. I have friends in Colombia. I have hundreds of friends in Israel that some of them are Jewish and some of them are Arab, that are Palestinians. We have friends from four wings of the universe, and they all desire an inner connection with Hashem, that He's the God of Israel. And I remember myself when I started to find myself, to look for myself, one of my questions to myself was, all right, and you're also Jewish, so what are you doing with that? And then I started investigating, and then I found my Jewish roots. I found that I had my connection through my family to Judaism, and it opened my eyes to recognize and to see that I'm Jewish. Okay, so then I start reading the Bible and reading more books, and I start talking about this concept, and I found a lot about myself, but it was because I'm Jewish, because my family are Jewish, because I was born in Jerusalem, in the holy land of Israel. But those thousands of friends of mine that are desiring the Creator without being Jewish, that they desire the truth and they love the Bible and they find an inner connection to the Jewish nation and to the Israeli nation, and they believe that spiritually they are part of us and they have the same mission like us, and they want to be with us, and they feel pain on the struggles and on the sorrow that we're going through. Where those thoughts came from? Where are those thoughts of tshuva coming from, if not because that spiritually they are also part of that beautiful tree of the nation of Israel? And I don't have the slightest doubt, the tiniest doubt of them all, that those people are Israelis. They are lost souls of the lost tribes, of the 10 lost tribes that are coming back together in a beautiful, beautiful movement of awakeness. And they are all rising back from the ground, and they're catching their place back in front of the eyes of the Creator. And this is why I'm calling you guys all to pray and to tear the sky and to call our Heavenly Father to reveal His greatness, His godliness, and to expose Himself to the world as the real leader of truth, as the real creator of the universe, and to reveal the fact that He is above nature, that nature is only a servant in the hand of the King, and that the king runs the creation, and he's the one that is able to make changes in the world based on his will and to answer all of our prayers. The main war and the main mission is for us all to work on our self-esteem, to rise our self-esteem to the highest place of them all, that we will appreciate ourselves, that we will recognize the glory and the beauty of our spirits and our souls, and that we will not surrender to all the negative words, to all the sad ways of thinking, to all the violent and rude and vulgar people and opinions that are talking to us negative about ourselves. We just need to ignore all the nonsense, all this noise, even if it's in our thoughts and even if it's coming out from the mouths of people. And just to check yourself in front of your own mirror and just look at yourself and ask yourself, am I a bad person or am I good? I'm a good person. Am I a selfish person or am I kind? I am facing my challenges. I am going through my difficulties. I'm going through my own poverties and my own spiritual challenges. But basically, in the foundation of who I am, I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. I'm a great person. I'm trying to do the best that I can with my time, with my power, using my talents, and to believe in ourselves is to believe in the Creator, because the Creator planted and treasured inside of us a heavenly portion, a portion of heaven from above, Chelek Eloka Mimal, and that is God's Spirit that lives inside of us, like that many verses are saying. And we just need to recognize this gentle light that lives inside of us and to make it call his own Father. You need to call the Creator from the bottom of your heart. You need to aim your prayers from that most sincere and honest point of faith, point of trust in that one, that there is no one else except of him, and to call him with all our heart, and to call him himself, and not his messengers, and not his angels, and not his light, and not his glory, to call him, to call him, to call him, to talk to him, to talk to the Creator like you talk to your best friend and tell him, reveal yourself, come out from the darkness, come back to the light, come back to us. We need to build trust with him. We need to build a relationship that's built and designed on those pillars of good attributes, of honesty. For that we need to learn how to confess and how to talk to him and how to pray and how to speak to him from the bottom of our heart, and just to be as simple as we are and not need to act in foreign ways and in different and weird customs and to go crazy and nuts trying to achieve things in the clouds and in such complex and sophisticated ways. It's simplicity is the key. Honesty is the key. Simple conversations with the Creator are the key to the complete redemption of the whole wide world. The difference between the redemption that took place in the days that Moses took his people out of Egypt to the redemption that is taking place in our life today is that the wide redemption that will take place, that are in building right now, is a redemption for the whole wide world and not only for one nation. Only the nation of Israel went out of Egypt. Them and few individuals from different nations that were suffering over there. But the redemption was not complete redemption for all nations around the world. But this redemption that is taking place right now, and we see that movement, and we see that amazing change, and we see this amazing development that the wind is carrying, that is being exposed and revealed and expand on all social media outlets and in books around the world, all new age spiritual content that is being distributed, and all the light of the creator and love and unity between people, and all conversations for peace, and all respect that is growing, and all the movements that take care of nature, of the world, of animals, of the ocean, of the ozone, of the weather, of suffering people in Syria, of suffering people in Africa, of suffering people, on children, on supporting women in their struggles, and children, and all those amazing movements that are taking place in the world are the movements that will reveal the glory and the beauty of the Creator to the world, and they're all needed. If they're Jewish and if they're not, if they are part of 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 the section that you belong to, or if they are totally different than you, they're revealing the beauty that been treasured by the Creator in their spirits. We're talking about a huge umbrella, about a huge movement that is taking place in the world, and amazing things and amazing developments are happening in real time. I believe in that, and I see that amazing thing taking place in our life, and I call you and I invite you to help us to spread that message around the world, to all your beloved ones, to all of your surroundings, and to ignore all the noise of negative social media and communication, people with negative opinion, and people that don't know how to talk and just choose to fight and to argue and to curse. It's all nonsense. It's noise. It's background noises. It's voices from the past. It's people that are not willing to surrender to that beautiful light that overpowers the world and conquers the world in its glory. And I bless you to join us and to be part of this Emuna project, and to support our activity around the world, and to share and to post the links from our classes and all the beautiful content that we're distributing, and also of different organizations that are doing good in the world. If you found something that is inspiring you, that gives you passion for life and desire to continue, you must share it with all your beloved ones, with no connection to where it came from and who created or signed. You need to share the light that gives you life, and to let everyone enjoy this amazing development in the world. Thank you. May the Creator bless us all, and we're going to try to make this wonderful class a weekly class every Sunday night, 9 p.m. East time, New York area time zone, and with help from heaven, we're going to accomplish great things in our lifetime together, and we're going to see wonders and miracles that will take place in our lives in no time. Amen. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Thank you.